Okay. Let's keep one more. Usually it's Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to lesson number 2 for 9th of September. Today is environment and the ecology. Jensen, are you able to turn on your camera? Thank you. So what do we have today, Sachin? So Jensen and Raiden. So we are talking like last week, we talked about what kind of environment you're facing for this coming exam. Are you prepared well enough for this coming exam? Are you ready for that kind of hectic environments where, the next few 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks, you're going to have, when school reopen, the exam start already, as you know, some of them even 22nd will start the exam already. It's very fast. Wow, super fast. So after that, that's it, you go for holiday. So what kind of environments are you facing? Is it a harsh one? Is it an easy one? Or is it a relaxed one? Or okay lah, my term, my WA1, 2, and 3, I did pretty well. I think should not be an issue. I can be able to handle it. Like, like this one. I'm able to use my emotions and notions, emotions with motions and notion with actions. I'm able to use a philosophy of life and study, and everything can be done out and things like that. So, okay, whatever it is, well done. So, what is ecologies? Last week, people were asking, I'm not sure what is ecology and is it
You're not
important?
sharing screen.
Huh?
You're not. Are you sharing screen?
Oh my God. Yeah, so sorry. Why I'm talking to myself. Thank you. So sorry, guys. Yeah, I did not share screen. Okay. I was keep waiting for a dear friend to come in, and so yeah. Okay, now I share screen already, yeah. Okay, the rest I think is still on holiday mode. So okay, let's just go through this one. 25th of September, that's today. 9th of September, so 25th, lesson 25. Okay, so yeah, I think are we prepared like this one? Okay, and are we going to do what we are learning, imply, supply, apply your knowledge, and then you reply during your exam and wait for the reply and rely on the answer, and then you comply it and using your emotion for motions, notion with actions to do your stuff. And what is a philosophy in life and study, which I talked about it last month, and no, last week, sorry. What is ecology and is it important to environments? All right, so let's go, Jensen.
Ecology is the study of the relationships between living organisms and their environment, encompassing both the living and non-living components. It's crucial for understanding how ecosystems function, how resources are distributed, and how to address environmental issues like climate change and biodiversity loss.
Oh, so ecology is actually is a between of living things and the environments and how we live about among the non-living thing as well, and how this ecosystem going to function, living thing and non-living things is also affecting the environments due to climate changes. And I think you all learned this what how should I say this ecologies is not just you and I. It can be the ecologies Shijing and Jensen's and Wenqian. I'm not sure you will be watching the video. It's also very powerful in terms of how are you living in the environments. As we heard last week, I'm not sure I shared with you, 孟母三迁, right? It was shifting house 3 times. And you find a right environment with the right ecosystem, a system that want to 栽培他的儿子 to become a leaders. It's the same that, your guys, why your parents shift house to come here to study in Singapore, or maybe shift to another place nearer to school. All these is really a very important features. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn off my fan. So nevertheless, it is important because the climate change and biodiversity is affecting our day-to-day lifestyle. It's a day-to-day lifestyle. Why I say that? Because you look at the climate change, it's so bad. It's getting out of hand. Study what's like the what you study as geography. Can you hear me? What do you study? My Wi-Fi was lagging just now, sorry.
Water, tropical rainforests, and mangroves.
Yeah, okay, these three things you realize these are the three things that really is an ecosystem and also ecologies, the living and the non-living thing. And this one, the mangrove is also affecting the biodiversities. Okay, so ecologies and the environment. Ecology has a science. Let's hear it from our dear friend. Let's go. Jensen. Ecology deep dive.
Ecology delves into the intricate web of interactions within an ecosystem, including how organisms affect and are affected by their surroundings. Importance to the environment. Resource management. Ecology helps us understand how renewable and non-renewable resources are used and maintained, informing conservation efforts. Addressing environmental issues. By studying ecological processes, scientists can develop solutions for problems like pollution, deforestation, and climate change. Protecting biodiversity. Ecology helps us understand the importance of biodiversity and how to conserve it.
So is these two is like related. We have an environment that we stay, but how do we treasure the environment? Like you study the water cycle and then the rainforest. You realize in your geography lesson, the rainforest itself comprises of different habitats. And certain habitats need one another to survive, you know. And if you study science last few years in PSLE primary school, you know the habitat and the environment is very important in the entire ecosystem and ecologies. And it's so important that every human beings, we need these ecologies to help us to survive, to go through. If not, then they will create a lot of problems like pollution, deforestation, global warming, climate change. The worst part is when you have climate change, you create natural disaster. And when you have natural disaster like flood, hurricanes, tornadoes, typhoons, tsunami, and earthquake, this is where it's going to be so devastating and not only affect the environments. In fact, the one, a very simple one is the COVID-19, right? We feel that it's not the bat fault, okay? It's nothing to do with the bat. I feel that it's because of the environment that made the bat to become one of the carrier disease. And so unlucky that the human ate them and this is how they pass the viruses. Okay, but it's just like those ancestors say, I've been eating bat for so many centuries or so many donkey years. Nothing happened. Why suddenly I eat this? It caused me so much problem. So this is something that we need to talk about it now. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the last one. Can you read the next one, the last one, Jensen?
Ecology highlights the valuable services that ecosystems provide, such as clean air and water, which are essential for human well-being. Ecology is studied at various levels, from individual organisms and populations to communities and entire ecosystems, even reaching the biosphere.
Okay. Oh my God, why suddenly? Do you see something on the screen? No? Do you see Raiden? The mouse? No, right? You see the mouse? The Razer mouse, is it? Okay, why no, yes, cancel. Okay. Oh, why I science it highlights the valuable service the ecosystem provides, such as clean air, water. You see, very sad, Sijing, Jensen, and Raiden, and Mei Wenqian. You realize that nowadays to get clean water and clean air and clean environments, to certain parts of the world is not possible, especially we are talking about like in Africa, in India, in certain part of Asia countries, or even in South America, which consists of Brazil, Argentina, or those countries, or even in USA and Europe. So we will like to see how this will affect like what you study the mangrove, the water cycle, and the rainforest. Is you realize the rainforest play a very significant parts in the entire ecology, or maybe you can call it the ecosystem. Okay, so like the ecology is the whole entire things that cover the ecosystem. Now, the word ecologies is actually already tell you, you see, it's study at the various level from individual organisms and the populations to community and entire ecosystem, even reaching the biospheres. Like it or not, we are living in just the one and only planet. We have no other choice. Like the last lesson we talked about, this is the only planet. This is the only planet that of fresh air, clean water to survive. And this is what, if you believe in or not, God give us this the advantage to stay in this country and to stay in this so how are we going to make use of it in a good manner, or are we going to destroy it? Well, honestly, it's all up to you to decide and change it. Okay, so let's practical applications. How practical it is. So ecologies inform conservation strategy, wildlife management, and sustainable resources. So this ecology is so important. You look at this chart here. Take note, if you really like geography for all the way to your set for the graduate set for, please take note of all these things. All right. Sometimes your teacher may or may not use this to teach you. Now let's talk about this abiotics environments, which is the atmosphere, soil, weather, climate, visualography, and habitat and urban marine. So this will you will learn in set 2. But if you are taking upper secondary school, secondary geography, then you might cover a bit of urbans and marines. I'm not sure whether they change the syllabus out. As far as last time I thought they still something like that. Then of course this is the environment, and then the agent change it by pollutants, flooding, depopulations. Depopulation can do due to many reasons like war, famines, droughts, or even natural disaster that cause it to have less populations or crowding. That means people migrating to other places, like the birds migrating to other places during the winter seasons. And the fire invasive species, like the pests, a big grasshopper eating out the whole entire farm. Greenhouse effect is the worst. Okay, we are not going to like it because this will affect the whole entire environments. How should I say? Because of this, it will cause extreme droughts and epidemics. Yes, that's how the COVID-19, you might say, it started off like that. Very sad. But whether is it good or not, of course, we know it's bad. Because it will affect your flora and fauna, microbes, humans, vegetations, carbon, water, and nutrients cycling, or nutrient cycling, populations, dynamics, and biotic interactions. So you realize this ecosystem is so important that you need all this together. Actually, we need this too. We don't need this. Now take note, because all these words are very, very useful, not just for your geography lesson for the coming exam, or even in the next year in geography, or maybe in the comprehension passage that talk about this. Usually it's in the comprehension passage about the factors of what is environment and ecology. So this you see the ecology is a form of the ecosystem, the whole thing. So ecology is the three things into one. You need atmosphere, but you don't want to have a change of agents to have all these things because it affect the flora and fauna. And the worst thing, killing all the humans, things like that. The worst thing that what he has done is during World War II. You know why World War II? Because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It caused all these invasion, fire and war, and then you affect the atmosphere, the soil, and then you affect the human. Then the whole ecologies will be a whole upside down, and the whole ecosystem will affect the entire environment. Oh my goodness, step back. So we must take care of this fauna and fauna, just like why we got garden by the bees. It's so important. But We can do what we our best, but there are still some idiots out there in the world who want to destroy. See, look at this picture, it's so nice. Individual survival and reproductions, the unit of natural selections. So how can this use it in your geography, or how can you use it in your comprehension passage, or how you can write maybe in a listening compre or oral? Wait, somebody is coming in. Wait, all right, thank you, Dominic. What happened? You forgot to come in.
Yeah, I was doing something earlier and then I just forgot.
Just put your calendar every Tuesday until end of this month.
Okay.
Next one, then we might have a break. So guys, this is a very important things to use in if you want to write about an essay about ecologies. Of course, all these habitat, why use rabbit? Rabbit is a very nice, non-invasive and not aggressive. Depends. I have to keep the words aggressive. So they'll eat the glass, and then you say it's a population increase, right? Then you increase more, they go to different place, and then the ecosystem flow of energy and matter. So they might eat out all the glass. But the biosphere is a global process. What it means like the whole entire process here, you see, is a hierarchy organization of ecology. The rabbit eat all these things. Of course, he has to pass down the poo and the shit, and that become the fertilizer. And this fertilizer eventually will be what will help to fertilize the things. That's where the rainforest is coming in, right? Now, what happens if there's not too many rabbits and there's certain predators that eat up? Will it cause mangrove? Will it cause the water cycle to have happens to affect the entire place? No, now you know why in the past they got this hunting season. They hunt the wild rabbits in England. So these populations of the rabbits exploded. Remember, you were talking about here, Dominic, in case you forgot, you did not, okay, exploded. Okay, here. Overcrowding. So it's not nice. Too many of the rabbits or too many of the certain animals is affecting the ecosystem. So this is the one. Oh, look at this. It's so beautiful. Now, I know next year is a very important year because you need to know which subject you're going to take, streamings. And you realize all the subject that you're taking this year are all interrelated. Let's start off. All these words are very useful and good for your geography, good for your vocabulary. Ethics, ethics. So the way we do things, we handle with people, how we have mannerisms, respect. Biology, we know it's to do with humans, bodies, and living things. Okay, or you can say about plant if you want to. Ecology is what we are talking about. Chemistry, as you know, chemistry is the acid, alkaline, or these things. Physics, if you like physics, it's the velocity, speeds, and then all this, the weight, the level. Geology, of course, is talking about same as geography. Okay, both are related in about how we talk about the environments, talk about how the impact of global warming, sustainability, greenhouse effects, natural disaster, how the ecosystem work. Okay, all these things. Anthropologies is something I forgot. It's okay. The demography is about how humans the populations is. Okay, sorry, suddenly I just can't remember this word. Give me a while. Oh. Huh? Wait, you're asking what happened to Wen Qian. Give me a minute. Oh, sorry. Okay. The anthropologies is actually the science of human being, the study of the science of human beings, the study of human beings and their ancestor. Yeah, correct. Anthropology is talking about our ancestor through time and space in related to physical environments and how related to how they move from places to places. Like maybe last time our ancestor come from China or come from different parts of the world, and that's how it is. Okay. Economics, then we know the import-export trades, the tariff that what Donald Trump has done. Political science is all about the war, the leaders, okay, affecting, and they realize the philosophy and religions. This one is understood now. Religion is understood now. All the different religions, the Islam, the Christianity, the Buddhism, the Taoism, the Hinduism, okay, and other religions. Okay. So that's what is happening here. This whole entire things is a cycle that affect the see the components of environment. So we realize all these. So ecology is only just one part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of 12, this is only 1/12 of the whole entire to form the environment in the earth. So now you understand that you're actually studying from all the way here. You still haven't studied all this part here. And if you'll be studying this, you'll be in the A level of poly. Okay. So let's talk about the 7 C's to protect our ecology system. That's my 7C. It's a helpful and memorable framework to understand the key actions we can take to safeguard the environment. So if you are coming across any essay on environments, okay, ecosystems, or anything to do with about the earth, okay, sustainability, okay, these are the 7C you can use in your essay. Okay, this principle can guide ready. Now, individuals, okay, can guide individuals, communities, and governments towards sustainable and responsible ecological behavior. Here are the 7C to protect our ecosystem. So up to you whether you want to copy or not. Let's do it. Number 1, 事情. Can you read this one?
Conservation definition: the careful use and protection of natural resources to prevent depletion. Example: protecting forests, wetlands, and wildlife habitats, conserving energy and water at home and in industry. Why
Sorry, Kara.
it matters. Conservation ensures that future generations have access to the same natural resources we rely on today.
So this is the first C. I think it will be very useful in your geography. In case they ask you for short answer questions, in case you forget, you can use this for your geography. Of course, you can use this for your essay. There are many ways. Okay, so conservation is very important. To save water is very important. To protect the forest, like that's why you study rainforest, right? Sijing, is it related, right? Conservations of the rainforest, and then the mangrove. There are some certain part. I heard in Indonesia have a lot of mangrove. So the government might think of getting rid of the mangrove and reclaim lands to extend. But my goodness, Indonesia has so many land already. Why reclaim? You should have more I would call less pollutions and less in terms of water pollution, right? So I don't know why they want to get rid of the mangrove. Because when you get rid of the mangrove, you might affect a lot of habitats. Maybe because of the mangrove that cause flooding in Indonesia. So it's better to conserve it or reduce the flooding. Some part of it for mangrove means high tide and low tide. And the tree itself branches can reduce certain things. Okay. Your study mangrove, you should know. I can't really remember the function. They got these advantages and disadvantages of mangrove. Right, Raiden? Right. So it's whether it's good to have a mangrove, right? Right. Shannon, you also Dominic, you also learn a mangrove, right? Is it a good to have? Of course, during World War II, the mangrove is actually to deter the Japanese from attacking Singapore, but that it doesn't deter. In fact, they just alight from the boat and then they just walk through the swampy area through the mangrove and attack Singapore. That's how it is. Number two, cleanliness. Shi Jing.
Cleanliness definition: keeping our environment free from pollution and waste. Example: proper disposal of garbage, reducing littering, and cleaning polluted rivers or beaches. Why it matters: a clean environment supports healthy ecosystems and prevents disease.
Yeah, I think you also learned this, right? Water, right? You study the new water, you study why the water and filter the waters. You need a reservoir, you need clean water, you need clean environment so that you have a better habitat. So the same thing, cleanliness is so important to reduce the pollution and waste. So Shi Jing, may I just suddenly ask you, when is your English exam? Which day? Next week?
Paper 1 is 24 September. Paper 2
Oh, next week? No.
next week.
Oh, next week. Yeah, next 24th September. And then paper 1, paper 2?
Paper 2 should be the day after, or the day after. Or it's
25th lah.
25th
24th.
or 26th.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Thank you. How about Jensen and Dominic? When is your paper 1 and paper 2? Same, right? Jensen and Dominic?
I
Both
think
of you same,
week
right?
2, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's week 2.
Also week 2, 20 something lah.
Yeah.
Also 20 something. 20 what? May I know roughly?
I don't know.
I'm not quite sure.
You all have the timetable already, right? Exam
Yeah,
timetable.
but I can't remember. I
Okay,
have the
never
timetable,
mind,
but I
never
don't
mind.
know.
It's okay. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Shi Jing, last one.
Care. Definition: a sense of responsibility and empathy for nature and all living things. Example: protecting endangered species, planting trees, or reporting illegal dumping or deforestation. Why it matters: when people care about nature, they are more likely to take action and protect it.
Exactly, you realize there's a lot of activists, people who advocate to love the environment, so they care for environment, so they go to do litter picking, seriously, at the East Coast Parks Bridge. All the beaches, they will go out. I think every Saturday got this group of activists, very advocate to keep the beaches clean, so they care for it, and then they show their responsibility. They want to protect the environments. They want to make sure there's no land pollutions on the beaches. So what they do, they literally every week volunteer their service and time to go there and care for the natures and make sure it's well protected. And some people will eat and drink are very inconsiderate people. I will call this idiot. Then they will just drink and throw the water bottle. Sometimes it's broken pieces. You can imagine those beach goers go there without wearing their shoes or slippers or sandals. Bam, hit the leg, that's it, get cut. Yeah, of course, there's some bottles, very sad. Some bottle they will have a so-called a home for these hermits, a crab, all these. Then they get stuck there, they cannot come out. Oh my goodness, possible. So these are the things that is not very nice, but we have the first three already. The first three, let's recall, is that we need to conserve. That means to give the best to reduce the waste. We need to have cleanliness. We need to definitely care for the environments. And what's the fourth C? Dominic, please.
Coexistence. Definition: living in harmony with nature and other species without causing harm. Example: creating wildlife corridors using non-lethal methods to manage human-wildlife conflict. Why it matters: all species play a role in the ecosystem. Coexistence ensure ecological balance.
There's this called the Robinson Crusoe, right? I'm not sure you heard about this story. He was having a shipwreck, and then he floated to a deserted islands, and he stayed all by himself. So he coexisted with all the natures, the environment. So what he did was, he hunt fishes, food, and then all the fruits are 水果. It will be coconut and all those fruits. And then with those animals living in the islands. And Imagine if one day you're stranded in an island by yourself. And then how are you coexist? Raiden, remember the Mr. Beast, right? He was with a few friends to stay in an island. He bought an island, right? Correct now? He stayed there, and then what happened? Well, your ginger grow already. So you know, right, Mr. Beast, he bought an island, right? And then with his few friends staying there, coexist the whole place, and then he used the nature. Of course, there's no electricity, no Wi-Fi, nothing. How they survive through the coexistence? Number 5, please. Who's done? Dominic, please.
Commitment. Definition: staying dedicated to a long-term ecological goals and sustainable practices. Example: supporting environmental policies, following eco-friendly habits consistently. Why it matters: environmental protection requires ongoing effort, not just one-time actions.
Don't read so fast, we all cannot follow you. Can you read slowly? Okay, commitments. We need to commit ourselves.
Commitment.
We need to.
Commitment. Definition:
Okay, can read it. Never mind.
staying dedicated to long-term ecological goals and sustain.
Thank you. Okay, are you ready already? So the commitments that we have here for all of us in this planet Earth, we need to show our commitments. Why? If we don't commit, and like so recently, the whole Singapore government suddenly say no plastic bag. Wow, initially I cannot get it. I cannot get over with it. I was so defiant against it. Wow, why got no plastic bag? And even when I go IKEA, that time was giving up plastic bag. Then slowly they cut off, and then you bring your own bag. I cannot take it. I feel that it's like you must give me. But because the commitment is that knowing that the plastic is going to hurt the Mother Earth a lot, and for plastic to degrade and to be vanished in the surface of the earth takes hundreds of years to do it. So I have to commit myself to love the environment, to protect the environment, to make sure that it is eco-friendly, that everyone on this planet Earth will breathe a cleaner air. Then number 6, Dominic, slowly.
Definition: working together as a group to address environmental issues. Example: organizing cleanup drives, community gardens, or climate action groups. Why it matters: collective action is more powerful and more impactful than individual efforts alone.
In your set 3 or set 4, if I'm not mistaken, you'll be learning this type of things in your social study. And one of the way is that a committee is a very big efforts to, like you all do the VIA, CCE, right? Going down to pick litters, clean out the beaches, or even help to plant trees. Like I think on the 1st of October or 1st of November, you got the tree planting day in Singapore, whereby want to beautify, to create a very good environment in Singapore.
This one count or not? This one count or not?
This one consider lah, okay lah. Consider. As long you're planting something green and grow, it's possible, okay? So yeah, it's not just not possible. As long you do something, committee is like the whole entire group of like neighbors or whole village come down to give their best efforts to do something. For example, to provide this what do you call this effort to make sure that make sure that everyone follow the rules and regulations, and more people's got more power, right? So that they are able to make the campaigns more active, more creative, and more vibrant, so that people will join this committee and do some good activities to make the environments, the ecologies more interesting. Right. Last one, Dominic.
Communication. Definitions: sharing knowledge and raising awareness about environmental issues and solutions. Example: educating others through social media campaigns or school programs. Why it matter? People can only actively understand the problem. Awareness leads to change.
Okay. So this communications is so important that if you don't communicate with one another and share information, so there are some countries who are, like for example, Indonesia. Every year they will burn and slash and burns their crops, and then oh my goodness, create the haze, and then the wind will start to blow towards us and Malaysia. And this will cause a lot of health issues to our populations. And we're going to spend monies unnecessary to take care of this problem. So we need to communicate with these farmers in Indonesia who are mostly very lowly educated. They won't care about haze. They just care about how do I get rid of my old crops and then grow a new one and make some money out of it. Of course, there is many ways to replant your crops, like using the machine to take away the old crops, the dead crops, and then instead of they doing that, they slash and burns, because burning the crops, the ingredients will stay in the soil more fertile. But over the years, if you keep doing that, the land will be barren. That means the soil will not be, the soil will be infertile. They do not understand this. So we have to explain to them, you should do this method, not that burn, slash and burn. But most of the time, we spend a lot of money and efforts in educating them, but end up they turn into deaf ear. They don't bother. Whether the money is lent out properly to the governments to educate them, or they really use that to know how to do, it doesn't work because the haze is still there. Okay, there are people who still start to burn, they don't give a damn. So communication is so important to pass a message across to allow people to understand, hey, if you're not going to take care of the environments, okay, the environment will take care of you, will give you an answer. And the answer is not nice, the natural disaster. Hey, if you want to take care of your environments well, then you must put in the efforts to show that you really care for the environment. How? Planting more trees lah. Like the rainforest, right? You cut down the trees, you must plant. Like IKEA, you realize IKEA used a lot of woods. So if you go to IKEA, there's got this one corner, they show that, okay, we also start to plant trees to grow it. To grow a tree, it takes many years. So IKEA use a lot of woods that is come from furniture that is made of woods. They come from there, and I'm just wondering how many trees they can cut. Not only they cut in their own homeland in Sweden, do they cut trees in other parts of the world and sell their furnitures to the whole entire world? And trees are very important to the ecologies or the ecosystem. So the conclusion is the 7C offer a simple but powerful guide to protect our ecological system, right? So that's the whole entire ecological system. It's part of it now. Environment is a big thing. And by practicing conservations, maintaining cleanliness, showing care, promoting coexistence, staying committed, building community, and enhancing communications, we can each contribute to a healthier and more sustainable planet. By practicing conservation, that means we walk the talk. Turn off the tap you're not using, turn off the fan you're not using, turn off the light you want to sleep. Maintaining cleanliness, this is very simple. After eating, you return the tray and then you wash your hand and then you throw the rubbish. You make sure that if you're coughing, put on a mask. Showing care is, no need to say, is how much care you want to show to the environments by coexisting. So how do you do that? Be nice to the environment. Do not destroy the environment. But sad to say, we talk here, but other parts of the world, they're still destroying the Mother Earth. Staying committed is a very important thing. Just like now, you have to commit yourself for the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, the exam is super important. And it's the last straw to go to Set 2. And this exam itself is the whole entire paper. That means if you're doing English paper 1, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes for editing, situation writing, and essay, right? And then for paper 2, you're going to do visual graphic text, comprehension 1, non-fracture, which it can be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And comprehension text 2, it can be something like this type of topics, ecology, talk about volcano, talk about dolphin, talk about war, fractures, right? So building community is important. So we need a community in order to ensure that we live in the same frequency, we live in the same channel, we live in the same commitments, that we want to build this community to help, to able to communicate one another, to pass the message clearly, to tell those people who do not know, oh, I must do this. so I can protect my environment. Or I must do this so the ecology system will be nice and clean. Oh my goodness, I must not do that. If not, then the whole entire community here and the place we stay is going to be get polluted and more hazards and more viruses. Okay, that's what I want to do. And the committee itself were able to pass the message using poster, using brochure, using walkabout talks. So now you understand sometimes your visual graphic text might be these type of things, talking about how to save the environments, and you have got a VIA, and then this poster about what is the title of this poster? Is it advocate to love environment? So same thing, you can be using this graphics a poster to give a speech to all your audience. Good mornings, principal, vice principal, teachers, and fellow classmates and students. Today, I'm giving a speech about how to love our environments. First of all, thank you for paying attention and coming to this talk. I would like to introduce the 7C and how we can take care of the environment. First, we need to conserve. Conservation is important for the environments. Then you talk about cleanliness. Now you understand? Then finally, when you end, you can end. Therefore, this 7C is a very powerful guide for all of us. At the end of today's speech of mine, we can walk away and understand how we can protect our environment using this 7C. Thank you and have a nice day. I end my speech here. So you see, you can use that, okay? So take note, it's not just for fun. You can use it for the entire speech, to give a speech. Because maybe, I'm not sure your school got green club. You know what is green club? A club that is not green. The green club means your environmental club. That means you care for the environments. Like, of course, I'll do all the green things, make the gardens in the school nicer, or have a vegetable farms at the back of the schoolyard and things like that. 适应有没有啊，世锦？你有没有 green club in the school? No. You know it's green club, right? Green club means to take care of the environment. Do you have a 事情? No. How about Jensen and Dominic? 有吗? You have? Oh, really? Are you any one of them? I know you're not. Jensen, are you there? No. So what you all do, Jensen?
I think for my STEM program, I think sooner or later we will do something with the hydroponics farm.
You see,
STEM.
Wait, STEM is not CCA,
STEM is my DSA thing.
Your DSA, correct. But I'm talking about Green Club CCA. Is that?
I don't think so. It's managed by the eco leaders.
Eco leader,
It's like a leadership position.
Raiden, do you have in your school?
Something like that lah. We get to plant our own plant. We have our own garden.
So you see, so this one topics is related to you. Now you understand what you do, is the 7C here. Very important. Not just talk only. That means because you have to start from young, like your age, to really appreciate and love the environments and get committed. Because when we were young, we don't spend too much time on this, so we don't give a damn to the environments. So when we grow older, it's who care? Smoke lah, do this car pollution, the CFC, all the different type of gases pollute. Then later we find out, oh my God, the earth is sick now. What are we doing? So over the past many years, we are all too busy for survival than to care for the environments. But now we are much better in terms of better, not survival, better standard of living, because at the expense of the Mother Earth being sick, we have to do something about it. Now, I'd like to talk about this as epistemology. Epistemology is how do we know what we know. So the same thing like today's lesson, you really know what is environments, ecology, ecosystem, eco-friendly, okay? All this eco means that you have to care for the environments, in short. And what this epistemology, what you have learned is that I won't be surprised over the years, you might come out this kind of topic about environments, ecologies, and eco-friendly, how you can love this planet much better and take care of this planet. So this is just a poster. Take note of epistemology. Okay, so do you know, okay, I want to cover a bit more. about using this about how the environments. Now, epistemology, how do we know what we know? So Sergey and Jensen and Dominic and Raiden, how come you know that pollution is bad to the environment? How come you know that natural disaster is also caused by man-made disaster? For example, the pollution, deforestations. I think you study in the rainforest, right? There are primary rainforests and secondary rainforests. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct? Is that true? There's a change. Right? The primary then you start to think, oh God, man, it's time for you to revise your exam. I mean, revise all your subject. Okay, to prepare for the coming exam because the exam might be covered the entire book. All the 3 topics that you have. Okay, so how can we use science? Let's say, epistemology is the study of knowledge. It asks, what does it means to know something? So you need to know what is environment ecologies and how can we tell real knowledge from just belief or opinion. Let's explore how it show up in daily life. So how do you know that when this phone call you to ask you for something, is it a scam or not a scam? How do we know what we know? Is it from the scam shield that the police, Singapore Police Force have these apps to check the scammer's number? Or is it that you got the relevant information from your parents, from those teachers like myself to give you the right information, or it's just from your friends, or it's just from the internet, things like that. Same thing goes to your geography, like rainforests. How do you know that rainforests play a very significant, essential part in the entire ecosystem? Will it affect the environment? Yes. What happens if we do not have enough rainforest tree? And what about the water supplies? Does it really affect us if we do not have clean water? Right, so Raiden, can you read the first 3? Science. After you finish the science, I explain.
Science. Scientists test ideas with experiments. Example, we know fire is hot because we feel heat and measure temperature.
So let's talk about Sir Isaac Newton, for example. When he was sitting at the apple tree, the apple dropped down, then he started to discover gravity. But he was wondering how come things drop, not going up. I mean, this is no need rocket science. That means I think he knows that anything that is go up will drop, means gravity, right? But that's why Sir Isaac Newton come up the physics law of gravity. Okay, that's how it works. So I already know what I know, but how can I make it to be much better? Is it a belief or opinion or real knowledge? Number 2.
Law and courts. Judges and juries need strong evidence. Example,
Juries.
juries. Example, you can't convict someone just because you believe. You need proof.
Okay, so for example, you know this person, like for example, let's say Hitler, okay, or one of the general, he killed a lot of Jews. According to the law, the juries and judges, he will definitely sentence him to death, like hanged by death, something, or shooting by death or whatever. So how can you know that? You know that he's a bad guy, but you really know what you know, that this guy is worked for under Hitler and he killed a lot of Jews, genocide, or maybe this murderer has already killed his whole entire family. But what kind of proof that you need that he deserved to be death sentence or life imprisonment? Just like the vaping, for example. We know that vaping is bad, and you know that this person happened to carry a vapes, let's say. Are you going to charge him for vaping or charge him for selling this vape? We do not know until we have enough solid evidence to prove. We know what we know, that vaping is wrong, but which is part of it? Next one. The third one is very interesting.
AI and technology. AI gives answers from data, but does it really know? Example, if AI guesses right by accident, is that knowledge?
So we cannot 100% trust AI, right? So the epistemology tells you that your knowledge tells you, I think I read somewhere before, I know my teacher told me this, my parents told me this, but it seems like the AI give me a different answer. Let me check again, double cross-referencing. Okay, next one. May I have Sijing?
News and media. Not everything online is true. Example, a headline says chocolate cures cancer. Do you accept it without evidence?
Yeah, exactly. That because after reading this, I read a lot and start to thinking of running a raw dark chocolate business for myself. Because it's really true that yes, there's certain proof that we already know what we know, that under the epistemology, the knowledge, remember this part here, okay, we already know that it's true that a lot of research paper, a lot of things, if it's not good, then the world will not, chocolate has been running for so many years already. So we know that there is a good benefit of eating chocolate. Talking about that, today I haven't eaten my chocolate. Okay. Next one,
Everyday life. We rely on trust and experience. Example, you grab an umbrella because you know it might rain from the clouds.
how do we know that the clouds is it see, we might ask to ask, is my belief true or not that later it's going to rain? What happens if I carry this umbrella, wow, waste my effort there. Then in case I forgot to bring back my umbrella, then my mom is going to scold me how. I remember that time I also brought an umbrella, but end up it did not rain, or it was raining. I put there, I forgot to take back. I dry my umbrella. So do I have a good reason to carry this umbrella with me, knowing the cloud is turning gray and dark? So this way we become better thinkers, learners, and decision makers. So how do I check? I took out my handphone, I check with Google Map or check with Google Weather. Or if I want going to my friend's house, maybe I stay in Ang Mo Kio, I'm going to Jurong. I make a call to my friend. Hey, 事情 your place Jurong raining. Yeah, it's raining cats and dog. How long already? It just started. So it just started. Maybe it might take a while by the time you reach there. Or I say, how long it been raining? It have been raining for 2 hours already. So what do you think now? It's still raining heavily, but it seems like it's going to subside. Something like that. Okay. Okay, let's do an exercise here. Okay, I still got time, never mind. Let's talk more about the 7C of the frameworks. Okay, here is a university level essay on the topic of 7C to protect our ecosystem. With a formal tones, clear structures, and critical analysis suitable for academic writing. So if imagine you are writing this in a speech, so your tone must be very formal, very strict. Okay, it's the 7C to protect our ecosystem, a framework for sustainable actions. Introductions. Okay. Wow, that's a very long introduction, bro. Okay. Jensen, can you read the introductions for the class, please?
The global ecological crisis has become one of the most pressing challenges of the 21st century. Climate change, biodiversity loss, environmental degradation, and resource depletion threaten the planet's ability to sustain life. But international treaties and scientific innovation play a critical role in addressing these issues. Effective environmental stewardship also requires a values-based, action-oriented framework that can be understood and adopted at all levels of society. The 7 C's to protect our ecological system, our ecology system: conservation, cleanliness, care, coexistence, commitment, community, and communication. Provide a comprehensive and practical foundation for promoting ecological sustainability. This essay explores each of these components, emphasizing their relevance, interconnection, and applicability in fostering a resilient and sustainable environment.
I like this sentence, resilient and sustainable environments. In order to have this, we need every single human being on earth to participate this and to make it interconnected. The US has been telling other countries to be environmental friendly, to do this, but yet they themselves also create a lot of problems. They are the one who build a lot of cars, a lot of things, bushfires, all these things, throwing waste, throwing a lot of food. So it doesn't work like that. Okay, Raiden, conservations.
Conservation's the rational use of natural resources. Conservation is the cornerstone of ecological protection. It refers to the responsible management and use of natural resources to ensure their availability for future generations. This includes conserving biodiversity, forests, water, and energy through both policy and behavior. Conservation is not merely about limiting use, but about optimizing resource efficiency. For instance, shifting to renewable energy, adopting sustainable agriculture practices, and protecting natural habitats in an era of rapid consumption and environmental stress. Conservation must move from being an ethnical choice to societal norm.
Not only the ethical choice to a societal norm, we also have to take into consideration like using solar energy, water energy, wind energy, or even reusable energy, or even using certain energy that will not pollute the environments. So that's what this paragraph that's reader is reading. Number two, Sijing.
2. Cleanliness, reducing pollution for environmental health. Environmental cleanliness involves minimizing waste and pollution to maintain the integrity of ecosystems. Air, water, and soil pollution directly harm both ecological and human health. Strategies such as proper waste management, recycling, wastewater treatment, and industrial regulation are essential. The growing threat of microplastics, chemical pollutants, and urban smog illustrates how cleanliness is a systematic issue that requires individual, institutional, and regulatory actions. Clean environment supports biodiversity, reduce disease burden, and improve overall well-being.
There are people who say last time, a few years ago, say, Singapore is such a small country. You're going to tell the world how to be cleanliness, how to do this and that, you go and mind your own business, Singapore. You are just a small little island, street dog. What can you do? But you see, don't forget, when Singapore was independent, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the first thing is to clean up all the swampy area in Singapore. To make Singapore clean, no rubbish, no litter in Singapore. Next, he started to advocate to plant trees. Every year got tree planting days. And now it's called the Garden City. So not only that, when you alight from Singapore airport, I believe you all go to a lot of countries. But the moment you step there, yes, maybe some countries are also very clean like Singapore. Some countries are not. But you realize the moment you step here, you feel that the cleanliness and the conservation, so everything's are different. I don't know how you feel it, but I do. So this is something that we are proud of. Third, may I have Dominic, please slowly, Dominic, slowly. Slowly, don't rush. Ethical responsibility.
Ethical responsibility towards nature. Care reflects our deep moral and
Hello,
emotional
don't talk like Indian, please.
care
Speak like Indian.
reflects
Don't talk like Indian, speak like Indians.
care reflects a deep moral and emotional commitment to the environment. It is rooted in the principle of nature, environmental ethics, the belief that all forms of life and ecosystems have intrinsic value.
Intrinsic value. That means they
Intrinsic
got their own value
value.
by itself.
Showing care involves adopting eco-conscious behavior in daily life, such as reducing unnecessary consumption, supporting cruelty-free products, and avoiding harm to flora and fauna. At a policy level, it requires integrating environmental considerations into every development decision. Without a sense of care, sustainability remains a technical goal rather than a shared human responsibility.
I think everyone look at Singapore as a garden city. To prove to the world we are garden city, we build
Uncle Raymond,
garden by the bay. Yes,
I think I can give a few examples of like
please.
Singapore, like turning things into green things. Like for example, like the past there was like the KTM to the Tanjong Pagar. That one has been converted into the green corridor. And I think next year there will be a train viaduct at Tanah Merah shutting down, and the ministries are thinking of making it into like a corridor, like a green corridor.
Well done. Hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can do that. And this is where it's your generations who's going to make things more better. And this is your generation, guys, that your next few generation will really appreciate what you have done for them. A clean, green, healthy, and beautiful environments. And to make this to end the lesson for this one here today, and then we do an exam. Coexistence is a harmonizing humans-nature relationships. Human developments has often come at the cost of ecological destructions. Very sad. That means your natural disaster. By now, you know what is the meaning of ecology. Coexistence advocates for a balance. Advocate means support for a balance of recognizing that humans are a part of nature, not separate from it, and it's called ecologies. This concept emphasizes habitat reservations, species protections. That means the extinct species, like the Siberian tiger, for example, or the panda bear. And sustainable urban plannings that allows both human and non-human life to thrive. So you realize nowadays all the monkeys are running everywhere because their habitat has been destroyed, as well as the squirrel and the wild boar. In Singapore, I'm talking about. Strategies such as the green infrastructures, ecological corridors, and which is like the garden by the bays, and then what Mr. Dominic has mentioned, all these things, and then the animal crossing like at the expressway. And recently, very sad, but one day was being knocked down by a car. I think he missed out the crossing path. And the community-based wildlife conservations embody the principle of coexistence. That means God create humans and animals and non-living things and living things. There's a purpose and a reason for that. It also implies the respect for the indigenous ecological knowledge system. Remember the epistemologies. What you know and what you will know and what you must know and what you have to know is all about what to do, to know in order to have a long promoted harmony between humans and nature. So you need to know that human and nature have to coexist. Human and nature cannot be separate. 这个天地人都是一起的. All right, we'll stop here for this one, and I would like you to do this one here. Give a minute so that you can do both. Okay. Ah, is that better? Okay, let's go. Do now. Okay, remember to use the prata. What is the purpose? Okay, what is it reliable? And who is the target audience? What is the tone or the tagline? And the 8W, a list of 8W and 1H, where, when, what, who's. And see if you say both, you see there's any similarity of any keywords here. If you say neither, that means none of them, the keywords doesn't match with the words here, then you use none. If you think it's text one, you have to prove to me why is it text one, okay? If you are done, please submit your answer. Thank you. Thank you, Dominic. You submit your answer already. Thank you. So you are very strong in this one. Don't neglect it. This is your last one for your set one. Let's do it properly. Who's next? I see. Okay, Raiden give your answer already. Left Shijing and Jason give already. Left Shijing. So this text one is taken from a poster, Hope Children Home. Okay, Shijing give already, Okay. Let's go through. Donate food, clothes, and stationery or toys, volunteers. So this is poor boy need a home. And then it's taken from a journal of a volunteer. Just nice, we are talking about environment things. And these poor boys staying in a very poor environment. Of course, no parents. And the children also excited to go to the zoo, even though it's evenings, afternoons. You're really touching how to see that. Thank you so many times throughout the trip to see the few hours. So these are also another orphanage homes. Okay, let's talk about the answer here. Will you help me? You can make a difference. Anyone got it correct? I did not open up the chat group. Let me see. Let me see whether you got it correct now. Okay, let's see. Dear friends. Shane is saying, why can't I go out? Why can't I go out? So wrong. Will you help me? Yes, the answer is correct. Will you help me? Yeah. There's answer here. Jensen is suggests that what is two? Number two. Number two is what? Will you help me? Number two is not right. Is it number two is help me? Yeah, correct, Jensen, you got it correct. So it suggests that the Hope Children's Home is in need of help for others. Let's look at Shining's one. It suggests Children's Hope is seeking help from the community. Yes. Then number 3 is that the sentence, it makes me feel good that I can make the smile. To me, it was just a few hours till I think it's no. Yeah, answer number 3 is wrong. So you only got 3 marks, right? The question number 3, number 2 and 4A. So you got 3 marks now, Dominic. These words would suggest that Hope children could see in need of additional support. Yes, can be done. The sentence is, it makes me feel good that I make them smile. Yes, well done. Text 1. Oh, sorry, the last one written, you got it wrong. It's text 2. Okay, it's text 2. So let's look at Jensen's. It suggests that you really want to get people help. Yes, correct. To them, it was just no wrong. Number 3 is wrong. Number 4A is 1. And 4B is both. What is 4A? Text 1, right? Okay, yeah, the last 2 you got it correct. Will you help me correct? It suggests that for searching, it suggests that is asking for assistance for help for other people. Yes, correct. The sentence to make me feel no, wrong. The sentence is it made me feel good to get me a smile. And for text 1, text 2. No, text 1. Hey, yeah, you correct, Well done. Very good. So let's see what is wrong with that here. You say readers are encouraged to take actions. Yeah, this one, take action. This one already got action already. So the tone suggests that the writer and the readers are of the same status. This one, text 2. Obviously, because they are happy to help them, there's a volunteer, and the children say, thank you for coming, thank you. So identify the sentence in text 2 which reflects the aim stated in text 1 of making a difference. Say a smile, right? Making a difference. So when you give this to them, you will see it's a smile. Then it makes me feel good. Then it makes me feel good that I can make them smile. So can make a difference. You see, can make. You can make You also can make. So you see careful Take note of this Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the last one before we call it a day. Okay, this one here. Read the paragraph, rewrite all the sentences, correct the writing mistake. Not easy, Did you know that bats are mammal? We know they are mammals just like us because they are warm-blooded. They are the only mammals that know how to fly. Bats are non-nocturnal, which means they sleep during the day and are awake at night. Oh, this one confirmed night is wrong already. So rephrase it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. So you have to type your 3 answer and we call it a day. This is good for those people who spelling like to type this in your WhatsApp. Okay, so this is the one for you to test it out. To use the proper English with full stop. Type exactly the same. And I heard next few years no more writing already. Do you know that? Everything have to type and submit your answer in your O-level exam, Singapore Cambridge exam. Your generation will not call O-level exam, you'll call Singapore Cambridge exam. So in fact, some of students in N-level are typing. So type. If you type wrongly, means wrong. Hello, there are 3 sentences leh. There are 3 paragraphs, okay? Not one. You do one, still got 2 more. Huh? Still this one. Bees are interesting. Anumas. The honey bee can fly at a speed of 50 miles per hour. A hive of honeybees has about Okay, you have to do all, not just do one, my dear friend. Remember to put full stop and comma and exclamation mark, question mark, or exclamation mark. This is the first time you do this English. Very cute, right? Something new. After these 3, all submit already. Once you done all the 3, please thumbs up. Okay. This is really good for editing. You submit one by one easier. Don't submit one shot, then after halfway you accidentally the Wi-Fi gone or anything. Just submit your answer first. If you do the first one, just submit the best one. Then the B's, and then the last one. Did you know that a person can live without food for more than a whole 一个洞 months a person can only live for about 1 week. 1 week. What the hell? Hey, how come only Jensen and Raiden submit? What about the other 2? If you submit now, please. Can y'all do Jensen and no, Dominic and Shi can you submit the first one, the B's one? Dominic. Okay, Sijing sent two already, one more to go. Raiden and Jensen, one more to go. Dominic got three more to go. If I'm not wrong. I will read out the answer. You all have to check your answer, okay? Dominic, have you submit or Dominic? You want to submit all three together? You be careful, ah. If you miss out, that's it, ah. Better send out, submit, submit, please. Don't one shot, submit the rest. You cannot type everything in the Zoom chat. Can you just click enter? So Jensen done already. Raiden not yet, ah. Jensen fully complete the three already, ah. Only left. Hey, Dominic, you still don't want to submit, ah. I say ask you to hit enter. I can't hear you, please. I don't want you to send three into one, okay? I want you like Jensen and the rest one by one like that. Sijing done already, well done. Raiden done already. Sijing done already. So Dominic left you alone, ah. Dominic, you're very stubborn. I ask you to separately, you one shot give me 3. Thanks.
I have to do like this because earlier I was already doing halfway already the entire thing. I was almost finishing already, so I had no other choice.
It's okay. You can just hit enter and submit the second part of it. You don't need to send everything. I told you to type halfway and submit. You don't need to type everything I told you. The reason is because I want to read. I say even you start halfway like 15 miles per hour, then you send the second part, I also okay one. I just want to read. I told you already. Okay, please next time follow instruction. Thank you. The reason I want to read, that's all. That's why I wanted some speed reading. Did you know that? Okay, check your answer, guys. You submit already. Please check your answer for the first one. Did you know that bats are mammals? Question mark. We know they are mammals just like us because they are warm-blooded. Full stop. They are the only mammals that know how to fly. Oh, really, man? Bats only? Okay, bats are nocturnals, which means they sleep during the day and are awake at night. So the awake, check, and are awoke during the day and are awake at night. Awake at night sounds a bit weird. During the day and awake at night. No need to put They sleep during the day and awake at night. No need to put the R by right. If you put the R, it should be and are awoken at night. And are awaking at night. Cannot be awake. Bees are interesting animals, full stop. The honeybees can fly at a speed of 15 miles per hour, full stop. A hive of honeybees has about 40,000 bees in it. Oh my goodness, full stop. The honeybees has 5 eyes, really? A worker's bees will make 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey over its lifetime. Huh? So little. Bees has been making honey for about 150 million years. Oh my goodness gracious me. Did you know that a person can live without food for more than a whole month? The whole with the W, forget to put the W. They're really good at this editing. A person can only live for about 1 week without water. Oh, really? I think 3 days I die already, man. We need water more than we need food. Obviously, yes. 97% of Earth water is in the oceans. Oh, really? Just 3% of the Earth water can be used for drinking water. Oh my goodness. So there is this one talk about the ecologies, ecosystem, and environment. The 3E. 75% of the world fresh water is frozen, which is of course we know where North and South Pole, and the North and South polar ice caps. Just nice, we end by today's lesson. 9:30. All right. So I hope next week lessons will be more other testing on all these things. All right. Let me see.